Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, in that deep, silent hour before the world stirs, and felt a sudden cold wave of panic? It's not a fear of dying. It's something stranger, something deeper. It's the fear of being forgotten. The chilling thought that one day, all the memories you've gathered, all the love you've felt, all the struggles you've overcome will simply dissolve. The idea that your name, your face, will eventually be like a word written in the sand, washed away by the tide of time, leaving no trace. This feeling is a universal ache. It's the reason ancient kings built pyramids, and why we carve our initials into trees. It's a primal scream into the void, a desperate plea. I was here, I mattered. Think of it like shouting into a vast empty canyon. We spend our entire lives crafting the perfect shout. We go to school, we build careers, we start families, we chase achievements. We curate our lives on social media. Each post, each promotion, each new thing we acquire is us taking a deeper breath, trying to make our shout louder, clearer, more powerful, so that the echo will reverberate just a little bit longer after we're gone. We listen for the echo from others. We check the likes. We ask for feedback. We seek approval. We are constantly checking the canyon walls to see if our voice is bouncing back, to get proof that we made a sound at all. This hunger for an echo dictates so many of our choices. It's the invisible force that pushes you to take the job you don't love for the title it provides. It's the whisper that tells you to stay in a relationship that doesn't fulfill you because it looks good from the outside. It's the pressure to perform, to be interesting, to be memorable at all costs. But here's the strange and tragic paradox hidden in plain sight. In our obsession with the echo, we forget to enjoy the act of shouting. We sacrifice the vibrant, living, breathing moment for a future memory that we won't even be around to experience. It's like going to the most beautiful concert of your life, but instead of listening to the music, you spend the entire time recording it on your phone, worrying about the angle and the sound quality. You're not there to hear the music. You're there to capture a perfect proof that you were there. You miss the entire experience in an attempt to preserve it. This is how many of us are living. We are curating a museum of our life for a future that we will not attend. We are building a monument for an audience that will include everyone except ourselves. And the anxiety that comes from this is immense. It's a constant low-grade hum of not being enough, of not doing enough, a feeling that you are falling behind in the race to be remembered. You scroll through other people's lives, their carefully crafted echoes, and you feel your own voice is getting lost in the noise. You see their highlight reels, and you compare them to your everyday reality, with its quiet moments, its doubts, its unglamorous truths. The fear intensifies. You feel like you need to shout louder, be brighter, do more, or risk fading into complete silence. This is the great exhaustion of modern life. We are performers in a play about our own lives, so focused on the audience's reaction that we forget our lines. We forget what the play is even about. We are so busy trying to leave a mark that we forget to live the life that would be worth marking. The architecture of this fear is built on a very specific idea, that you are a separate, temporary object, a fragile vase on a shelf. If it falls and shatters, it's gone forever. all that's left is the memory of the vase. So, you spend your life trying to become a vase, so precious, so unique, that people will talk about it for centuries after it's shattered. You want to be a museum piece. But what if that's not what a person is? What if the fundamental assumption is wrong? We inherit this way of seeing things. It's in our stories, our culture, our language. Be a legend. Make a name for yourself. Leave a legacy. These are the rules of a game that so many of us play without ever questioning it. A game where the goal is to be remembered. But who wrote these rules? And what if the game itself is the source of the suffering? What if this deep, gnawing fear of being forgotten isn't a profound truth about existence, but a symptom of a profound misunderstanding? A misunderstanding of what we are, where we are, and how this whole experience of life actually works. Think about it. All this energy, all this anxiety is poured into securing a future that is, by definition, not for you. It's a ghost haunting a house that hasn't been built yet. What if reality doesn't remember in the way we think it does? Not with names and dates and achievements stored in a dusty book. What if the very fabric of existence has a different way of holding on to what was? A way that has nothing to do with fame or monuments or the echo in the canyon? What if, by chasing the echo, we are turning our backs on the only thing that is ever truly real, and the only place where our life actually happens? By the way, our shared space of light and awareness is on its way to 100,000 people. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and brings this moment closer. Let's go deeper into this, because the way out of this fear is not to shout louder. It's to realize you are not the shout, and you are not the echo. You are the canyon itself. The old way of thinking tells you to build a legacy, like a stone monument. You gather all your accomplishments, all your successes, and you stack them up, one on top of the other, hoping to build something so tall and so impressive that it will withstand the winds of time. But monuments are heavy. They require constant effort. They are separate from the landscape. They stand in defiance of it. And eventually, every single monument, no matter how grand, crumbles to dust. The names are worn away. The stone turns back into sand. This is the path of exhaustion, the path of fighting against the nature of reality. Now imagine a different way. Imagine your life is not a monument you build, but a ripple you create. You are not a stone being stacked. You are a single drop of rain falling into a vast, calm ocean. When you land, you create a splash, and from that splash, ripples spread out in every direction. The initial drop is gone in an instant. The splash is forgotten, but the ripples travel on. They interact with other ripples. They gently lift the things floating on the surface. They travel to distant shores and lap against the sand in a way they wouldn't have otherwise. The ocean is forever changed by your arrival, not because it remembers the drop, but because the entire pattern of its movement has been subtly, permanently altered. This is how the architecture of reality actually works. It doesn't remember your name or your job title. It's not a library with a book about you. It's a vast, interconnected network, a fabric of life. And every single thing you do, every thought you have, every kind word you speak, every moment you are truly present with another person, it's an imprint on that fabric. It's a thread you weave into the tapestry. You won't see where your thread goes. You will never know the full extent of the pattern you have changed. When you held the door for a stranger who was having a terrible day, that small act of grace might have been the one thing that stopped them from giving up. They in turn might have started a project that helped thousands. Your name isn't on that project, there's no plaque for you. But the effect, the ripple you started, is woven into the lives of all those people. Reality remembers you, not by your identity, but by your impact on the connections. The universe doesn't care about your resume. It feels your presence. This shifts everything. The pressure to be someone disappears. The need to achieve greatness vanishes. The goal is no longer to be a memorable drop, but to be a drop that lands with its full presence, creating the clearest, most authentic ripple possible. Your value is not measured by the height of your monument, but by the quality of your splash, right here, right now. And that is something you have complete control over. You can't control how or if you'll be remembered, but you can control how fully you show up in this exact moment. Are you listening when your friend is talking? Or are you thinking about what you'll say next? Are you tasting your morning coffee? Or are you scrolling through a feed of other people's lives? Are you feeling the sun on your skin? Or are you worrying about a deadline next week? The fear of being forgotten is a disease of the future-obsessed mind. To cure it, you must come home to the present. The only place you truly exist is now. The past is a ghost, a story we tell ourselves. The future is a phantom, a possibility that never arrives. The only point of contact with life, the only place you can leave a real trace, is in the vibrant, alive, unfolding present. This is the great transformation. It's realizing your immortality isn't in having your name carved on a stone that will eventually turn to dust. Your immortality is in your full, conscious participation in the fabric of life, right now. You are already a part of this eternal, unfolding pattern. You don't need to earn your place. You are already here. The fear of being forgotten is the ego's fear of its own dissolution. But you are so much more than that small, frightened ego. You are the awareness that is experiencing it. You are a unique expression of life itself. And by simply living, by breathing, by connecting, you are fulfilling your purpose. So let the monuments crumble. Let the names be forgotten. Stop shouting into the canyon and waiting for an echo. Instead, turn your attention to the life that is flowing through you and around you in this very second. The real legacy is not what you leave behind. It's what you give right now. It's the kindness, the attention, the love you pour into the present moment. That is the ripple that never ends. That is your true imprint on the fabric of everything. You were never meant to be remembered. You were meant to be experienced. If this video changed something in you, write in the comments, "My value is in this moment." Write it as your promise. Nobody